Well, surprise, surprise. Did not intend to go live today. I did have a family commitment that I was scheduled to be a part of this afternoon, but I got a call this morning saying that that has changed. So rather than upload the game I recorded, I figured, well, since I'm going to be here, why not do it live? And it was a decent game, the one I recorded, but I think people might like to see it live better. I don't know. That's what I've been told. So that's what we'll do. And of course, the game of the week comes to us from Oakland Coliseum. It was played on Saturday, April 28th, 1973, between the Baltimore Orioles and the Oakland A's. Hello, Kenyon. How are you doing? And starting pitching matchup for today's game, the recently departed Ken Holtzman. Not really a Ken Holtzman tribute game per se, but he did pass away recently. He'll be on the mound for the A's against Hall of Famer Jim Palmer for the Orioles. Hello, Brian B. How you doing? So, nice pitching matchup here. The real game in real world, the Orioles defeated the A's by the score of 2-1. There is one defensive rating that kind of baffled me a little bit when I was looking up when I was filling in the score sheet with the player ratings. Reggie Jackson of the Oakland A's was given. Let's see if we can show this to you. In the outfield, Reggie Jackson. So I can get it focused here. A -5 arm for Reggie Jackson. I do not remember Reggie Jackson having that kind of an arm. I just don't remember that. Yeah, Brian, I was saying earlier, the family commitment I was committed to, got a call this morning saying they didn't need me all of a sudden. So lo and behold, here we are. So I did record the other game. I'll just delete it and use this instead. Let me check and see if everything is the way I need it here. I guess it is. I suppose it is. So looks like everything is showing up fairly well. Got Oakland A's colored dice, or at least the best I can do with Oakland A's colored dice. It looks like from what I'm seeing here that I can actually lower the phone a little bit to get a little closer. So let me see if I can do that without losing the peripherals. I think I can. Let me adjust everything here down just a hair. And I think, yeah, that probably looks a little bit better. You can probably see the cards a little bit better as well. Hey, Brandon, how you doing? Yeah, Tenacious Earl, it's nice to see him get back to doing some recording or streaming or whatever, but he had been away for quite a while, but it's good to see him back. He's certainly one of the stalwarts in the YouTube community, so it'd be nice to see him on a more consistent level. Tabby is in here, and she's making some noise. She'll probably be doing the snip snap going back and forth and back and forth, so I may have feline interruptions to let her out. I think she actually wants to go out now. So before I get the game started, I'm going to go ahead and let her out, and hopefully that will appease some of the back and forth. So just hang tight. The ball game will be starting in just a moment. I haven't rolled it yet, so I'm going to roll for the ballpark effects for Oakland Coliseum. So if you want to analyze that while I let Tabby out, if she wants to go out. Now she's coming back around this way, so I don't know what she wants. Tabby, come here. Tabby, come here. All right. So there she is. She's making her little debut, her little 5 seconds of fame. She's here, but I'm going to quickly let her out the room, I think, because I think she wants to go out that way. Okay. All right. Tabby has made her one little thing there, and now an exit. Hello, Jimmy. Jeremy, I'm sorry. I saw Jimmy there. My eyes are going bad on me. Hello, Jeremy. Yeah, I didn't know he had that kind of an arm, but obviously Strat-O-Matic in their 1,200 hours of research have determined that he does. So we'll go with it. All right, let's do the ballpark effects very quickly for Oakland Coliseum on this day game in April. So we're in April, day game right here, this little section. So 1 to 8 on the D20 is good. 9 to 18 is average. 19 to 20 is bad. Now, even on a good day, you're not going to get a lot of base hits or home runs. 10 and 3 are the good day. 1 and 9 are the bad days. 0 and 5. I'm sorry, 1 and 9 are the average, and 0 and 5 are the bad. So, hello Chuck, how you doing? So we got a 1, so it's a good day. But even on a good day, it's 1 to 3 for singles and 1 to 10 for home runs. So, and that's both for lefties and righties. So it's not exactly a hitter's paradise, even in good weather. So Oakland Coliseum is proving to be, at least in the 73 season, a pitcher's ballpark. All right. There you see the starting lineups and the benches and the bullpen. All right. And I think we are just about ready to get going here. Ken Holtzman, like I said, recently passed away not that long ago. So not really a tribute game per se to him, but we can make it double as that, I suppose. I don't know. But like I said, I had recorded this game ahead of time, and I'd already played it and recorded it and uploaded it and was ready to go because I had a family commitment that was supposed to take place at noon today. Got a call about 9 o'clock this morning saying I didn't have to go there now because something else had come up and they weren't going to do it. So that freed me up, and I said, well, if I'm going to be here, I may as well do a live one because that's what people seem to like, even though I'm not really that comfortable with it. But if that's what people prefer, then that's what we'll go with. So I think we are ready to get going now. And leading off for the Orioles will be the right fielder, Merv Retman. It'll be Retman, Gritch, and Tommy Davis due up for the O's. The O's in 1973, we'll look at the standings here real quick before we start. The O's were 97 and 65 under Earl Weaver, and the A's were 94 and 68 under Dick Williams, and that was the matchup in the ALCS that the A's did beat the Orioles in the ALCS, but this is regular season, April the 28th. All right, we're ready to go. Ken Holtzman to Merv Retman. Game of the week underway. 2-6. Retman against a lefty. 2-6 is a walk, so Merv Retman will draw a leadoff walk to start things off. Now, the pitcher, one thing I forgot to mention, the pitcher, hold, catcher, throwing arm combinations. Holtzman's a -1. Fossey is a -3, so it's a -4 -4 combination, and then being held would be another -2. It'd be a -6. So even if Retman got the jump, it'd be a 1 to 13. The only way he gets a jump is on a 7. So they're going to hold Retman, but Retman's not going to go anywhere because of that -4. For the Orioles side of the house, Palmer's a +1 and Williams is a 0, so it'll be a +1 effect. So the A's might have a field day stealing bases, but we shall see. Hello, RJL. In case you missed it earlier, hello. I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Chenia. Xenia. I don't want to mispronounce the name. Sorry. RJL. In case you missed it, I got a call this morning saying that I did not have to do the family obligation that I was obligated to do, or was going to obligate myself to do. So rather than just upload the pre-recorded game, I figured since I'm going to be here, why not go live? Hello, DJ from the left coast. How are you? All right, so Retman's at first. Check the habit roll. Nothing going on. He is being held, which means with Gritch up, the second baseman, Dick Green, is responsible along with the first baseman, Tennis. We get a 3-10 for Gritch, and that's a ballpark single check, but the single check is only a 1 to 3. That is a ground ball B. Now, I know a lot of people, if you fail the ballpark check, you immediately go to a line out to short, line out to second. I guess technically that's what you're supposed to do, but a lot of times if the original result here is an out, I stick with this out. But in this case, I'll go ahead and do the liner to short. And just to keep it, I won't put any spin on anything. I'm just going to do it, close to the book as I can. All right, so line out to short for out number 1, and that will bring up Mr. DH Tommy Davis. Nothing on the havoc. We get a 6-6 against a right-hander, and that's bad news for Holtzman. 1 to 6 is a double, 7 to 20 is a single. That's a 1, but there are 2 asterisks there, so the runner on first will have to hold at second. He has no opportunity to score. But now we have second and third with only 1 out, and the cleanup hitter, Earl Williams, at the plate Tommy Davis will not be held. He doesn't run well at all, so they will not hold him on second base. Infield will come in. They want to choke that runoff. You're facing Jim Palmer. Runs might be at a premium, so they're going to choke that runoff. Baltimore won the game in real life 2-1, so expect a low-scoring game. So the infield is in for the A's. We get a 5-6, 5-6. 1-7 is an in-home run. That's a 5. In-home run. He's got normal power as Earl Williams, and you know what? It doesn't matter about the infield being in. That is long. Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading 5-5. My bad. It's 5-6. 5-6 is a 1-6 triple. That's even worse. Earl Williams just tripled. He had one triple in real life, and he just found it. So it's a 2-run triple for Earl Williams. It will not be a home run. It will be a 2-run triple, thanks to the 5 on the D20 and that 1-6 triple. So it's a 2-run triple from Earl Williams, and the Orioles already have their 2 runs that they got in real life here in the first inning, and they may not be done yet. It is 2-0, but the runner at third with only 1 out. Infield's going to have to come in. And now here's Paul Blair. So Holtzman's got to regroup. Infield is in. We get a 6-6, and that's the second time we've hit 6-6. Holtzman's just getting killed on these rolls. That's a 15. It's a single, but it doesn't matter. Runner's on third anyway. So Paul Blair singles, scoring Williams. It's 3-0 O's. I'm telling you, the game I recorded was a lot closer than this, so it may have been a mistake to go live. We shall see, because this game might get out of hand. You never know. All right, so we're going to see if Paul Blair can get a jump. He can do it on a 3-6. It's an 8. He does not get the jump, but he will be held. He just won't go anywhere. Won't try to steal. Infield is double play depth for Brooks Robinson, the venerable one. He will step up to the plate against Holtzman. 3-9, and that's a ground ball pitcher A, so that's just what the doctor ordered. That's a 1-4-3 double play to end the inning finally for Holtzman. But the O's put a 3 spot on the board thanks to the 2-run triple from Williams and the RBI single from Blair. And the Orioles lead it 3-0 in the top of the first. For the Orioles, 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Go to the bottom of the first is Orioles 3, A's finally coming to bat, but they are in a hole against Hall of Famer Jim Palmer. Hall of Famer Jim Palmer has been staked to a 3-0 lead. And Bert Campaneris will lead it off for the A's. I'm telling you, they got their work cut out for them. 6-9, and that is a strikeout. So Palmer gets the strikeout on Campaneris to start the ball game. I'm going to start for the A's, but that's why you play all 9 innings, because you never know what's going to happen. Here is Billy North, switch hitter. 5'11", switch hitter batting left. That's a fly ball right field X. That's Retman. He's a 2-E8. 2-E8. So a 2-E8, 2 and a 7. 2 and a 7 is a F2. E8 and an 8. E8 and an 8. There's nothing there. E8. There's no error there on an E8. So that's a good play for Retman. He will track it down for out number 2. And that sends up Joe Rudy. Palmer, 5-7. That's another strikeout. So Palmer, easy, 1, 2, 3. And that's those 3 runs, I guess, gave him some energy. Probably made him jump out of his jockey shorts to get that kind of a lead this early. But they do it, and back come the O's. They're back to bat already. Ken Holtzman barely had time to get a swig of water, and he's got to get back out on the mound. And A's only have 4 available bullpen arms, so they got to, Holtzman may have to try to carry the load a little bit. All right, so here's Don Baylor, left fielder. 2-7 against a lefty. That is a line out to second base, so Dick Green snares it. And there is 1 away. And that'll bring up Boog Powell, another surprise rating. They rate him as a 5 defensive first baseman. He's a 5 E19 for Boog Powell. I thought that was kind of bad, but they give him a 5 E19. I didn't think he was that bad, but it must have been in 73. But anyway, lefty on lefty. 4-4, and that's a catcher X. So we are going to Ray Fosse. He's a 2E4. 2E4, 2 and a 6 on a catcher result. 2 and a 6 is a P/P. That's a 9, and he's an E4. There is no 9. P/P with nobody on base, I believe, is just a straight old pop out, but I'll double check it. Yep, batter pops out to the catcher. So it's a pop out to Fosse. Powell is out for out number 2. And that'll send up Mr. Belanger. Holtzman, 6-7, and he avoided that 6-6 this time. So another ground ball, second base X to Dick Green. Again, he's a 2E11. 2 and a 12 is good all day long. That's a G1, and that's a 9, and he is an E11. So a 9 on an E11, there is no 9, so it's good play for Dick Green. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, more to Holtzman's liking, as maybe he is now settled in. But we go to the bottom of the second, 3-0 Orioles still in the lead. And Jim Palmer coming off a 1-2-3 bottom of the first. We'll go back out and see what he can do in the bottom of the second. Be facing Mr. Hot Dog himself, Reggie Jackson. Reggie Jackson to lead it off. 6-7, and that's going to be a ground ball second base X to second baseman Bobby Grich. He's a 2E5. 2 and a 10 is good. E5 and a 13. There is no 13. There's a 16 and 18, so nice play there for Grich. Took a tough hop and put away Mr. Jackson. One down for the captain, Sal Bando. 310 against a right-hander is a ballpark home run for Sal Bando, but it's 1-10. That is a 10. It is gone. Home run. Now, if you wanted to play robbing the home runs, I guess you could, but that's one of the super advanced ones I really don't like to mess with. Maybe in a tutorial version I would do something like that, but I think we're just going to let the home run go. Ballpark home run for Sal Bando. And he gets the A's on the board 3-1. As we got that 10 there. So let's go ahead and go to Gene Tennis. 3-4 for Tennis. That's a ground ball back to Palmer for out number 2, rather. So 2 down. And that'll send us to DH Angel Mangual. Kind of a strange DH choice, but that's who they picked. 4-6 against a right-hander is a fly to right. Retman puts it away to end the inning, but the A's get a little closer on the Sal Bando homer. And at the end of 2, it is Baltimore 3 and Oakland 1. So at least they found a chink in Palmer's armor. No Rob in Oakland. I guess the walls are too high. Huh? I don't know. I wasn't gonna play it that way anyway. So. Now, Merv Retman. All right, we do have Gracie downstairs, and she was quiet, but if she's making noise, then I might be called downstairs briefly to try to calm her down. So let me go down before it even starts and double check that. I will be right back. All right. Again, another danger of doing a live stream when you have an older animal that could need attention at any moment. It can throw off the rhythm of the broadcast. So hopefully she is quiet now. We shall see. Okay. We are now, let's see here. Merv Retman's going to lead it off against Holtzman, top of the third. 1-5, and that's a walk. So Merv Retman will draw a leadoff base on balls. It's exactly what he did to start the game. So 2 walks in a row. Again, Retman will not go anywhere, but he will be held. And Bobby Grich is your batter. Holtzman to Grich. 5-8, and that is a ground ball third base B, fielder's choice. So Bobby Grich will be the new runner at first base. And Retman is out 5-4 for out number 1. Grich will be held again, but will not try anything. Not with that -4 factor for the pitcher-catcher combination. Hello, Alex. How are you doing? Anybody missed? Sorry, while I was away. 2 is a possible balk or pass ball. It's pass ball check, and pass ball check on Ray Fossey. He needs a 1. And there is no pass ball, so we continue. We had a 1-7, and that's a ground ball shortstop. There's a plus there, but the infield was not in, so that's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. All right, I'm being called again. I'll be right back. Sorry, folks. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I brought Gracie upstairs with me. Hopefully, having her next to me, I can pet her, and that will keep her from crying and from me having to keep going downstairs. One of the thrills of live stream when you've got stuff going on. Now I'm thinking that decision to live stream instead of playing the one I already recorded is coming back to bite me again. But we will drive on. For the Orioles, they get no runs. No hits, no errors, and nobody left thanks to the double play. Bottom of the third we go. All right. Again, sorry about all that. Yeah, Alex, when I was messing around with stuff, my input on my microphone fell away from the phone off the clip. So you were getting probably an echo or something. So it should be better now, I would think. Okay. Ray Fosse will lead it off. And for right now, Gracie's just laying next to me. She's quiet, so hopefully she will stay that way. And Tabby is downstairs. So we kind of switch animals and see what happens. Palmer, 2-3 for Fosse is a ground ball first base C, and that's one where Boog Powell will field it, throw it to Palmer covering, and that's one away. Here's Dick Green. Palmer, 6-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. That's Belanger. He's a 1, so you know he's going to get to it. When nobody on base, you don't even need to roll a D20 because you know he's going to get to it. We're just checking an error, and his error rating is a 26, so basically he's got to avoid a 12, 17, or 18. Those are the only errors, and he did. That is a 13, so he barely avoided it, but he did, and that is out number 2. It's a good thing about when nobody on base and you got a 1 infielder, you don't even need the D20 because you know he makes the play. All right, here's Campaneris. Palmer, 3-5 for Campaneris. That's a 1-16 single, and that's what we got is a single for Campaneris. And that is the first base runner, technically, because the home run, you didn't have the base runner, but this is the first base runner for Oakland. And, of course, with that +1 factor on the hold rating, Campaneris is going to be looking to run. He can get the jump on a 3 through 6. And he does not. It's 12, so he will have to hold. And Bill North is your batter. Gracie. Girl. Bill North is the batter. We get a 1-9 for North, and that's going to be a ground ball second base C. So a 4-3 ground out will end the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the 4th. Still a 3-1 ball game. Still a 3-1 ball game. Now Gracie is making a little bit of noise, but we'll try to pet her and calm her down. She has some anxiety. Possibly some arthritis pain, I'm not sure. She's 17 and a half years old, so she's definitely outlived her life expectancy. She's eating really well and going to the bathroom and everything. She just gets a little anxious from time to time. I don't think she can find a good sitting position to sleep. That's part of the problem. I was up at 3 in the morning with her this morning. Finally got to sleep took another nap around 6 this morning and slept till 8. So, come here, Gracie, come here. All right. All right, there you go. We're going to plug through this as best we can. That's all I can do. All right. I mean, because it might be a short time that I won't be able to have her around, so try to enjoy her while she's here. Anybody that has a dog or cat know that animals, even though they're animals, they're still part of your family. So, all right, here's Earl Williams. Tripled his first time up. 211, and that is a ballpark home run chance. But it's only a 1-10, but that's an 8, so that's gone. Earl Williams tripled in the first. He is now homered to lead off the 4th. He's well on his way to a cycle. And we got a 4-1 ball game. Gracie, we got a 4-1 game. All right, I got Gracie in my lap now, hoping that's going to calm her down some. But it's a 4-1 game thanks to the home run. That is a 4-5, and that's going to be a fly to right, 1 away. So Paul Blair is retired. Brooks Robinson is your batter. Here is Robinson, 1-5, and that is a strikeout. So Holtzman gets the K for out number 2. And here is Don Baylor. 2-6, and that is a hit by pitch. So Baylor gets plunked, and he was known for that, obviously, in his career. He gets hit by the pitch. It's a good base stealer, but, well, let's see if he can get the jump. How about that? Even though the -4 is there, that would take it to a 15. -2 for me is a 13, so they still have a legitimate chance. So 2 through 6, 11, or a 12. That's a 4, so he gets the jump. So he is going to start at a 19. The catcher-pitcher interaction is -4, makes it a 15, and then being held as a -2 makes it a 13. So 1 to 13, he'll go. And he's caught stealing. So Don Baylor got greedy, and Ray Fosse made him pay. So caught stealing as Campaneris put on the tag. So for the Orioles, they get the run on the home run from Earl Williams. 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Orioles now lead it 4-1. Of course, they won the game in real life 2-1, but they're giving Jim Palmer a lot more run support than he got in the actual game. All right, so Tutti Frutti Joe Rudi is going to lead things off against Palmer. 2-6. That's a straight out single for Joe Rudi. So Joe Rudi is there with a single. He not a good base stealer, obviously, so they will not hold him on at all. And Reggie Jackson is your batter. Havoc roll, nothing happening. So Reggie against Palmer. 1-7, and that's a walk. So single and now a walk have put 2 on, and maybe the A's are thinking about a comeback as Sal Bando steps to the plate, and he homered his first time up. If he does it again, there'll be a tie game. But that's asking a lot. Nobody being held on. And here is Bando, Palmer to Bando. 2-7, and that's another walk. So Palmer all of a sudden losing the strike zone, getting pinched by the home plate umpire. I assure you, Angel Hernandez was not an umpire back in '73, but the ghost of Angel Hernandez may be showing up as the bases are now loaded with nobody out for Gene Tennis. And the Orioles, of course, will play the infield back. They need outs. So that's what they're going to do there. Infield is back looking for a double play. Tennis 3-9. He's going to strike out. That's a huge strikeout for Palmer. 1 away, and there comes the DH man Gual. Would love to pinch hit for him, but I don't do substitutions until the 7th unless there's an injury because I want to keep. Oh, 2. Okay, we got a chance for a pass ball or a balk. That's a 2, chance of a balk, but Palmer has a 0 balk rating, so we continue with Mangual. Palmer, 3-8 to Mangual. It's a ground ball pitcher B, and I believe that's going to score a run. I will pull up the official chart for base running with the infield back, and a ground ball B, bases loaded, is a 4. 4 says batter safe, runner out at first going to second on a force play. So the throw went to second like they were going to turn the double play, but they couldn't turn it, so the run will score. It is an RBI ground out for Mangual. Bando is out at second on a 1-4 force play. Rudi will score, and Reggie will take third. But now there are 2 outs. Runners at the corners for Ray Fosse. 4-2 game. 1 base hit by Fosse could really cut into this lead. But he's got to do it against Palmer. 4-9 against Palmer. 1-8's a single. That's a 2. That'll do it. Base hit for Ray Fosse. It's only a 1 star, so the runner on first can only go to second. But the A's have cut this lead now to 4-3 as Reggie scores. Mangual has to stop at second base. So runners are at first and second. 4-3 game. We're already getting a lot more runs than we got in the real game. Dick Green. Palmer 2-5 to Green, struck him out to end the inning. But the A's put 2 on the board and cut the lead to 4-3. Here in the 4th inning, we got a slugfest going on And it's not because of Oakland Coliseum. They're just getting some good rolls off these cards. For the A's, they got two runs. They did it on 2 hits. There were no errors, and there were 2 left. So Oakland has made this a ball game again at 4-3 as we go to the 5th inning. And Gracie's getting restless on my lap. She's not really a lap dog. She's, German Shepherd Chow mix. She's about 19 pounds, so not exactly a poodle sitting on my lap. So, but at least it's kept her quiet. But I'm afraid she's going to have to sit down now. Maybe I can get her quiet since she sat with me. Maybe that'll quiet her down. We'll see. She just has to find a comfortable way to sit down, I guess is what she needs. There you go. All right. So it's not a feline delay, it's a canine delay as we try to get her situated. And leading off for the Orioles will be Boog Powell. Hold on, Gracie. Hold on. I got you. There you go. All right, got her on her favorite blanket right next to me, hoping that will keep her calm. So, Ken Holtzman to Boog Powell. 1-9, that's a strikeout. So Holtzman rings up Powell. 1 down for Belanger. Next week's game is going to be from Shea Stadium, the Astros and the Mets, and it will be Don Wilson against Jim McAndrew. It's a pitching matchup in that game. Holtzman 6'10" against a right-hander is a ground ball third base X. That's Sal Bando. Bando's a 2E24. 2E24. 2 and a 12, you'll get to it. E24 and a 10. There is no 10. There's a 9 and a 12, but no 10. So good play for Sal Bando. As that Oakland infield can be a little rough. So he made the play on the nice hop. Here's Retman. He's walked twice. 3-9, and this time he grounds it to second. Dick Green makes the play. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Ken Holtzman. And since that first inning, he's really settled down. He did go up the home run, of course, to Earl Williams, but other than that, he's done pretty well for himself. Kept his team in the game. It is 4-3 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. Both pitchers have 8 for fatigue, so they're nowhere near fatigue. And for the A's, Bert Campaneris will lead things off. I'm going to try to get through this game as quick as I can, so I may not be looking at the comments. I apologize for that, but I really want to try to get this done while she's quiet, before I have more interruptions. So I really wanted to drive on. Apologize for that. But you can obviously chat amongst yourselves. 6-8 for Palmer is a pop to short. Belanger is there, and there's one away. Bill North steps to the plate. I can tell you on the game I recorded and played, the Orioles won the game 5-2. But this is a lot closer now at... Actually, I put a 3 spot there, and it shouldn't have been. It should have been a 2 spot. It's 4-3, not 4-4. Not bad. Okay, so Bill North. 2-4 from North is a ballpark single check, but that's a 15. So he will line it to second. 2 down. That brings up Joe Rudy. Tutti Frutti, Joe Rudy. 6-5, and that's ground ball shortstop X. That's Belanger. He's a 1, so again, we don't need the D20. You know he's going to get there. It's just a matter of an error. And he's an E26, and again, the only errors he can commit are 12, 17, and 18. And that's not even close, so Belanger will make the play to end the inning. So 4-3 is your score through 5 innings as the A's go quietly 1-2-3 here in the... Wait a minute, did we just... Okay. That was Rudy, right? Yep. Okay. Yep, 1-2-3 inning. All right, we go to the top of the 6th. And 7th inning is where I can start doing some substitutions freely if I choose. A lot of guys on the bench if we want to do pinch runners, pinch hitters, so forth. And now we have Bobby Grich. 6-6, and that's that dangerous roll. Holtzman, that's been dogging Holtzman the whole game. That 6-6 roll, and the 3 makes it a double. So Bobby Grich with a double, his first hit of the game. And I would put Bobby Grich in the Hall of Very Good, not in the Hall of Fame, but the Hall of Very Good. He will be held, and Tommy Davis is your batter. 6-3, and that's a ballpark single check. That's a 7, so that's going to fail. It'll be a liner to short for out number 1. Oakland Coliseum just not going to give up a whole lot to you. Here's Earl Williams. He has tripled and homered in his first 2 at-bats. So I've never had a cycle on Strat before, or in any game before, for that matter. So he's off to a good start anyway. 5-3, and that is another ballpark single check. 6 will be not going to cut it. You got to have a 3 or less. So Oakland Coliseum is going to take that hit away from him. That could come back to cost him the cycle. You never know. But he lines to short as well for out number 2. And that's going to bring up Paul Blair. Holtzman to Blair. 1-7, and that's going to be a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. So the leadoff double doesn't amount to anything. No runs a hit. No errors and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still nip and tuck, 4-3 here in Oakland. And Palmer will come back out, and we'll have to face Reggie Jackson to lead off the inning, followed by Bando and Tennis. Jackson has grounded to second and walked 0 for 1. 6-7, and Palmer against the lefty is a ground ball second base X. That's Grich. He's a 2E5. 2 and a 14 is good. E5 and a 10. E5 and a 10 is probably good. You have a 16 or 18 gets you an error, but a 10 does not. So nice play for Bobby Grich. He takes care of Mr. Reggie. 1 down, and here comes Bando. He's homered, and he has walked. 4-5, and that's a ground ball to third. Brooks Robinson is there, so Bando grounds to his counterpart at third for out number 2, and that brings up Gene Tennis. 2-9, and that's a ground ball to short. Belanger is there to end the inning. So we had a grounder to second, grounder to third, and grounder to short all in a row. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 7th. Still 4-3. And now is when substitutions can take place. So for Oakland, they will most likely pinch hit for Mangual with a lefty when we get to the bottom of the 7th. But right now, Brooks Robinson is going to lead things off. He has had a bad day. He's hit into a double play, and he struck out. 4-9, and this time he gets a single. So Brooks Robinson, talk bad about him, he gets a single. It was off Holtzman's card, but nonetheless, it's a single. He will not be held. He's not a very good runner at all, so he will not be held. Oakland bullpen has got some action now. Horacio Pena, the right-hander, is loosing in the Oakland bullpen, just in case Holtzman starts to falter a little bit. Horacio Pena, a right-hander. 5-8 against Holtzman is a ground ball third base B. It's a fielder's choice. So Baylor is now the new runner at first base as Robinson is out 5-4. But that changes things because Baylor can run. So they will hold him on, and he's going to try to get the jump as well. 2 through 5, 11 or a 12. 10, he does not get the jump, but he will be held. So Boot Powell is up, and since they're holding the runner, Burt Campaneris will be affected on an X chance. Get a 1-8 for Boot Powell against the lefty, and that's a walk. Not what Holtzman wanted, for sure. That's going to put 2 on with only 1 out for Mark Belanger. A's could definitely use a double play right about now. If they don't get Belanger, they might pull Holtzman. We'll see. Nothing going on there. 3-10, and that's trouble. 3-10 is a clutch single, but there's only 1 out, so the single to right is going to stand. But with Reggie's -5 arm and Well, Baylor's got decent speed, though. Let's see. Baylor runs at a 17, being held makes them a 16. And then -5 would make it an 11. They're going to try to send him 1 to 11. They're going to try to send Baylor to the plate. And he's out. No, I'm sorry, he's safe. That's an 11. He slid in under the tag. So the third base coach was aggressive, and it paid off. As Don Baylor will score. Powell will move to third on the throw, and Belanger will take second on the throw. So they gambled, and Reggie couldn't get him out. So still only one out, with the infield now having to come in. And with Merv Retman coming to the plate, that's going to be it for Ken Holtzman. They are going to make the move. Dick Williams has already come out from the dugout. Holtzman is out of there, and Horacio Pena will be on. Horacio Pena, a right-hander, on the 73 season. He was 6-3 with a 2.76 ERA and 8 saves. So Horacio Pena it is. Orioles now lead it 5-3, but they threaten for more with Merv Retman up. You don't want to walk Redmond intentionally because you got Bobby Grich coming up, so you're just going to have to deal with it. One chance for a wild pitch, and his wild pitch rating is a 7. Nope, it's blocked by Fossey, so it kept that from happening. So here's the pitch to Retman with the infield in. 5-10, that's a ground ball, third base X. That is Bando. Bando is a 2E24. 2-17 is good. That's going to be a G1. That's a 12, and he is an E24. E24, and wouldn't you know it, as the A's would have their bad luck. If we look at E24 for a third baseman, there's a 12 sitting right there in the E1 spot. There is a 12 sitting right there, and that's what we have. So they could have. He was in a hurry to get the player at the plate. Instead, it's an E5. All runners are safe. Run comes in. Retman still gets credit for the RBI because there's no guarantee. You can't assume that he would have thrown the guy out at home. You have no way of knowing that for sure. It's going to go as an E5 on Bando. Scoring is Powell, and going to third is Belanger. That run is charged to Holtzman, but he deserved a better fate than that. But Bando just had a tough break with that. So runners on the corners. Retman has to be held because he's a good runner. Infield double play depth. Pena, 2-9, and that is a strikeout, a huge strikeout for Pena. That is out number 2. Now the infield can go back to normal depth, but 2 runs are already in. It is now 6-3 Orioles. And they're trying to blow this thing wide open. Tommy Davis is your batter. 5-9, and that's a ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. Actually going to call it a fielder's choice, 6-4 to retire the side. But 2 runs come in for the Orioles. It is now a 6-3 ball game for the Orioles. 2 runs. They do it on 2 hits. There was 1 big error, and there were 2 left. 7th inning stretch time here in Oakland. I would normally stretch and take a break and all that stuff, but Gracie's quiet right now. If I figure if I get up, it's going to disturb her, and she might start making noise, so I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to drive on. If you want to sing your Take Me Out the Ball Game, go right ahead. That's a good question, Joel. I'm looking at this now. I don't have a card for him. I wonder if it's somebody that was never carded. Let me pull up the Strat-O-Matic computer game and see who he is. Or maybe that's because a lot of times what I do when I'm doing these lineup things is I basically start with an original that I have and just change all the information. It could be that was from a previous game and I just never changed it. It's possible. I don't know. Quality control of this is not very good. Obviously, I'm slacking on the quality control. Let's see if Baltimore even has a Brown. They do, Larry Brown. Larry Brown, so he must have been active. Larry Brown, a shortstop, was active. He had 28 at-bats. So if they need him, he's on the bench. That's who it is, Larry Brown. He's probably more known for being with the Indians back in the early 60s or late 60s. Larry Brown, that's who the Brown is. It's Larry Brown. Okay. So I'm not losing my mind just yet. There is a Brown there. Larry Brown. What can Brown do for the Orioles? Probably nothing, because he's going to be the last guy off the bench, because I don't have a card for him. So I'd have to go off the computer if I did something with him. Now, I did, in full fairness, I did go ahead and print out a Jay Johnstone card in case I need him, because he was on the A's roster, but not carded by the company. He's on the computer, but not carded in the extra players. So anyway, here we go. Angel Mangual is your scheduled hitter, but like I said, we're in the 7th inning now, so we're going to start making some substitutions for the A's, and since they're behind, they need better hitters. So Mike Hegan will pick up a bat, and he will, actually it won't be Hegan, I'm sorry, but Gonzalo Marquez. Gonzalo Marquez will pinch hit for Mangual and stay in the game to play DH. So Marquez is going to be your new DH. So Gonzalo Marquez is your new DH, as he will come in and hit for Mangual. To lead off the bottom of the 7th, trailing 6-3 against Palmer. 210, and how about that? A hit by pitch. A pinch hit by pitch. Don't know if that was retaliation for when they plunked Baylor. I doubt it. Up 6-3, you don't want to put guys on base. But Marquez will reach. He's not going to be held. He won't go anywhere. Oops. I had Mangual out of there. I don't know how he got stuck in the way there. All right, Ray Fosse is your batter. They don't have a better catcher, so the only thing they could do maybe is put in Hegan and move Tennis behind the plate, but that would really hurt their defense at the catching position. Yeah, they're gonna stick with Fosse. He's a decent hitter, 256, so nothing to sneeze at. So they will stick with Fosse for now. Pete Rose is not coming to the plate, so he's still safe. Here's Palmer, 1-4, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. It's a 6-4-3 double play. Boy, bad news there. If I knew he could do that, then I guess I would have pinch hit for him, but didn't know that was coming. That was out of the blue. At 1-4, ground ball shortstop A. Here's Dick Green. (6-7) for Green is a ground ball second base X off of Palmer. That is Gritch. He's a 2E5. 2-4. 2-4 is a G3. And let's see, that's a 10, and he's an E5. And that's a good play. So that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the A's. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We go to the 8th. It's still 6-3. Favor of the O's. And now Marquez is your DH going forward for Oakland. Pena is back out. For the Orioles, it'll be Williams, Blair, and Robinson. Orioles have a lot of good lefties on the bench that can pinch hit. But the A's also have a couple lefties in their pen that could counteract that. So right now it's status quo. Hello, Philip Reynolds. How you doing? Okay, so Earl Williams, who has tripled and homered in this game. 3-7. He's going to walk, so he won't get the cycle, disappointingly enough, but he will reach on the walk. And he will not go anywhere, obviously. Paul Blair is your batter. Nothing on the havoc. Pena, 3-9 to Blair is a strikeout. Out number 1, big strikeout there to get Mr. Blair. Here's Brooks Robinson. Nothing happening on that. That's a 1-8 for Robinson. That's a ground ball pitcher A. That's a 1-4-3 double play. Second double play that Brooks has hit back to the pitcher on. And down go the Orioles with nothing to show for it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Go to the bottom of the 8th. They still lead at 6-3, though. This will be the fatigue inning for Palmer. And I think that's going to be all for Pena. Possibly. We shall see. They do have Daryl Knowles loosening the bullpen. Raleigh Finger's going to stay put because they're losing 6-3. You're not going to bring him into a game they're losing 6-3. But if they get closer, he may be coming in. Orioles, in the meantime, do have Eddie Watt in their bullpen loosening, just in case. But right now they're going to see how long Palmer can go. 1-7 for Campaneris is a leadoff walk, so that's not a good start for Palmer to get a leadoff walk. That's one ding against his point of weakness. And, of course, Campaneris, but you're down 6-3, but you can also, by stealing, you stay out of a double play. So it's a good chance that they're going to go ahead and try to get a jump with him. 3 through 6 will get him that jump. He does not get a jump anyway, so it doesn't matter. He will be held, but he won't get the jump. So Bill North, and they're not going to try it without the jump. So here's Bill North. 6-7 switch hitter is a ground ball second base X, but with the switch hitter up, the shortstops get responsible for the whole. So Grich keeps his full defense. It's a 2E5. 2 and a 4. 2 and a 4 is a G3 pound, but of course he's not responsible for holding, so just a G3. So we know the runner's going to advance to second. The question is, will there be an error? That's an 11. He's an E5. Nope, no error. So it will be a 4-3 ground out. But Campaneris will move up to second base with 1 out for Joe Rudi. Tutti Frutti Joe Rudi. Nothing happening there. Rudi, 1 for 3. 4-10, and that is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Paul Blair. He's a 1, and he's an E5. 1 and an 11 will produce a F2, and that's a 10, and he is an E5. E5 and a 10. There is no 10, so F2 with a runner on second base has to hold. A runner on second may tag up and try to advance, but boy, you're down by 3 runs, and getting to third really doesn't help you with 2 outs. So even though it's tempting, we're going to hold Campaneris at second base. He just can't make that third out at third base. No way. All right, especially with Reggie Jackson coming up. So Reggie up at the plate against Palmer. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice and walked. 1-5. He's going to walk again. That's the third walk for Reggie Jackson in this game. He has walked 3 times. And now the tying run is at the plate. And Palmer is getting close to fatigue. Sal Bando is the batter. He homered off of Palmer his first time up, but they're going to stick. Earl Weaver says Palmer's my guy. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason. We're going to stick with him. Nothing on the Havoc. So Campaneris is held at second base, which means the second baseman Grich is responsible. Palmer, 6-11. That's a ground ball shortstop A, so it doesn't matter anyway. 6-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. So the A's leave 2 more on base. And we go to the 9th. It is 6-3 in favor of Baltimore. And actually, Pena will come back out. Or will he? You know what? I'm going to go against the grain here and bring in a lefty, Daryl Knowles. 6-8, 3.09 ERA and 9 saves. He's going to come on because you do have the lefty Powell after this. So you got right, left, right. But he's going to come on and face Don Baylor, Boog Powell, and Mark Belanger. Try to keep the score at 6-3. 3-9, and that is a pop to short, 1 away. So I know it's counterintuitive, but Dick Williams is playing a hunch. And the first at bat worked. So that is a pop out, one away. Here is Boog Powell. 1-8. That's a walk. So he gets the right-hander out and walks the lefty. Go figure. So Boog Powell is aboard. Of course, he will not be held or go anywhere. And Belanger is your batter. Nothing happening there. Knowles 2-4 to Belanger. That's another walk. So back-to-back walks. And all of a sudden, Knowles can't find the strike zone. And now to save face, the A's will pull him and go to Raleigh. Raleigh Fingers is going to come in and try to keep this from getting out of hand, if at all possible. Try to keep it a 6-3 game. He hasn't pitched in a few days because he actually made a start about 3 days ago, so he should be pretty well rested by now, I would think. And he's going to be facing Merv Redmond in right field. Nobody being held on because Powell's the lead runner at second is slow. Nothing going on there. 1-9, and that is a clutch single, but there's only one out, so that single will be good. It will load the bases. They're not going to run against the -5 arm of Reggie. But the bases are now loaded with only one out for Bobby Grich. There is an Oriole on every nest. No, we're not doing a 3-batter rule in 1973. Obviously not. All right, so the infield now. Do you play him in, or do you play the double play? Boy, I think you have to play in here. You can't afford a ground ball B fielder's choice. You've got to go. You got to get the lead guy at the plate. So the infield is in. 3-9, and that is a ground ball second base C. Now I don't know on the super advanced if it's a C. They might score anyway with the infield in, but we will find out. Infield in, ground ball C with the bases loaded is a 7. Batter safe, lead runner is out. Okay, so with the C that they did get the out. Had we had the infield back, it would have been batter out, runners advance. So they did save the run by playing the infield in. They get the force on Powell. It will go 4-2 as Dick Green throws to Ray Fosse for the tag. Grich reaches on the fielder's choice for out number 2. Redmond takes second. Belanger takes third. Bases are still loaded with 2 outs. And Tommy Davis, the batter. Davis, the DH, is 1 for 4. I don't think they would pinch hit for him. He's a 306 hitter, so you're not going to pinch hit for Tommy Davis with the lefty. You're going to stick with what you got. Nothing going on there. Fingers 3-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop A with a plus sign, but the infield's not in anymore because there's 2 outs. Had it been the last at bat, that would have been a single. But in this case, it's just going to be a 6-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. And Raleigh Fingers gets the A's out of the mess and keeps them in the ball game, at least theoretically. So the Orioles leave them loaded and leave a slight opening for those Oakland A's to come back in the 9th. Last chance for the Oakland A's, and as RJL likes to say, will we see any 9th inning magic, even though this is Strat and not inside pitch? You can still have 9th inning magic in Strat, I'm sure. All right, so for the Orioles, they got no runs, a hit, no errors, and they left them loaded. So we go to the 9th. Due up is Tennis, Gonzalo Marquez, and Fosse. And they're going to pull Palmer. They're going to leave him at the 8 innings and just they're going to turn it over to the bullpen. And they're going to go to their closer, or at least one of their closers. It's kind of by committee. They're going to go to Grant Jackson. He was 8-0 with a 1.91 ERA and 9 saves. So Grant Jackson, the lone lefty in the bullpen, will be coming in for the Orioles to try to close the deal. He's going to be facing Tennis, probably a pinch hitter for Marquez because he's a lefty. And then we don't know what's going to happen after that. So, but Tennis will lead it off. Probably a pinch hitter for Green too, most likely. Let's see what we got. Grant Jackson to Tennis, 6-5. That's a pop out to short. Put away by Belanger, 1 away. We will get a pinch hitter for Gonzalo Marquez. He will be lifted from the DH spot. And they will go to a pinch hitter off the bench, a right-hander. And let's see who they got that's any good from the right-hand side. The best one they have average-wise is Rich McKinney. Rich McKinney was a 246 hitter. So McKinney will be coming on to pinch hit for Marquez. And if they miraculously send it to extra innings, he will take over as the DH. Don't know much about Rich McKinney, but he's here to face Grant Jackson. 6-5 is a pop-up short, same exact role 2 times in a row. So it didn't matter who was batting, because 6-5 over here against the lefty would run a line out to short. So Ray Fosse is your batter. He will bat, but if they get to Dick Green, they'll pinch hit for Green. But Fosse's going to stay in there to bat. 3-9, he's going to ground it to Gritch at second, and there's your ball game. 1, 2, 3 inning, no ninth inning magic whatsoever, as Grant Jackson puts a kibosh on any thoughts of that. And the Orioles defeat the A's by the score of 6-3. Like I said in my video that I recorded, they won the game 5-2 over the A's. So 3-run, and in that game, Eddie Watt got the save. This one, Grant Jackson gets the save. So we'll do the totals real quick. Of course, the winner is Palmer, the loser is Holtzman, and Grant Jackson gets the save. Player of the game, kind of have to give it to Earl Williams. He had the 2-run triple in the first, and then he got the home run in the fourth to put him up 4-1, which was the difference. When they used to do game-winning RBIs, he would have had the game-winning RBIs. So Earl Williams, triple and a homer, 3 runs driven in and 2 runs scored. So we're going to give him the player of the game. Could give it to Palmer for his pitching, but we're going to give it to Earl Williams as the player of the game. So for the Orioles, let's see, there was one error, and that was on Sal Bando. So that was and it was a big one. But 6-3, and let's check the hits and left on base for the Orioles. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Got him for 8 hits, and they left on 1, 2, 4. So I got him for 7 left on. These are all unofficial, of course. For the A's, they got 1, 2, 4. I only got him for 4 hits. That's something. All right, let's see. Campaneris had 1 hit. Rudy had 1 hit. Bando had the home run for a hit, and Ray Fosse had a single. That was it. There were a lot of walks, but only 4 hits. But there were a lot. They drew a lot of walks, but Reggie Jackson drew 3 of them himself. That's 4 hits. Let's check left on base. We got 1, 3, 5. Only 5 left on. So there was 1 inning they left in the 4th inning. They left 2 on, and also in the 8th they left 2 on. So that's where 4 of the 5 got left on base. Other than that, they were pretty much out of it. So the A's, despite having their colored dice in their favor and everything else, do not get the victory. And it is going to be celebration time for the Orioles as Earl Weaver leaves the ballpark happy. And him and Jim Palmer can have a nice beverage after the game to celebrate. Next week, we will be in Shea Stadium for the Astros against the Mets. That'll be the game of the week next Saturday. Of course, on Monday, coming up, this Manic Monday, it's going to be APA Basic. It'll be 1941. It's already been recorded. I just got to upload it. But it's already been recorded for a noon launch on Monday. It is 1941 APA. The first game in the Joe DiMaggio hitting streak against the Chicago White Sox from May 15th, 1941. APA Basic, White Sox and Yankees. That will be the Manic Monday game on Monday afternoon. But next Saturday, we'll be in Shea Stadium. It'll be Don Wilson against Jim McAndrew for the Mets, and that will be your pitching matchup. Let's see if I thought I had the lineups, but maybe I don't. I guess I do. I didn't print that far out, so don't have those lineups in front of me, unfortunately. I can look on my Excel thing and see if there's any particular players that might be of interest that are playing in the game that wouldn't normally play in the game. Let's see here. We are looking at, okay,
Yeah, not a whole lot of stuff going on there for either team actually. Just your basic game. Of course, the former Met Tommy Agee is on the Astros in this game, so that's interesting. He's on the bench, but he is on the roster. Former Met from '69, Tommy Agee. And of course, speaking of '69, don't forget that RGL Network's next season replay and inside pitch will be 1969, as that was the winner on the selection show. So he'll be doing after a little bit of brief time off, he'll be doing a slow playthrough of the 1969 World Series, Baltimore and the Mets. So be sure to watch out for that. Yeah, Don Wilson against Jim McAndrew is your pitching matchup. Then the week after that, we go back to the American League. It'll be the Minnesota Twins and the Kansas City Royals. So that's the next 2 weeks on the NBC game of the week that are scheduled. And like I said, Manic Monday will be APA 1941, and the next Manic Monday after that would be Status Pro, and that will be Game 1 of the 2019 World Series between the Nationals and the Astros. So get your trash cans ready in advance for that, as it'll be Garrett Cole against Max Scherzer. So that's going to be on Status Pro. That'll be the next Manic Monday after that. So again, from here, the Orioles top the A's 6-3. A's will get the revenge in real life in the playoffs, but in this game, Orioles won it in real life 2-1. They won this game 6-3. My recording, they won 5-2. So they just kind of got the A's number in the regular season, it would seem. And of course, Jim Palmer probably had something to do with that. So I do appreciate you spending part of your Saturday with me. I apologize for the couple of delays with Gracie, but since I brought her in here, she's really calmed down and just laying there nice and quiet and seems to be enjoying herself and enjoying having me here talking. She can hear my voice, so I think she, maybe had a separation anxiety. I don't know, but either way, she seems to be doing okay. Let's see something here. Let me take a look here real quick. All right, so I was trying to show a picture of Gracie. There she is. She's sitting there nice and quiet on a little blanket, and she's resting nicely. So, like I said, she's at least 17, probably 17 and a half. We got her in October of 2006, and she was already a puppy. So I'm thinking Tabby is downstairs. She was up here earlier. So I'm thinking she was born probably in the summer of '06. So, like I said, she's working on 18. Don't know how much longer we got with Gracie because she's obviously getting older. She is still eating. She is still using the bathroom. She can walk around. She has a little stiffness, but she can walk around. Mainly right now, I think a lot of her things are psychological because she seems to be having a lot of anxious moments and whatnot. We do have her on CBD oil, which seems to help. It does increase her appetite quite a bit, but pretty much every night I can pretty much expect to get up at 3 or 4 in the morning and feed her, put her outside and whatnot. She sleeps pretty good from about 10 to 3 or 4 in the morning. Once we get up at 3 or 4 in the morning, we're pretty much up for the day. That's the way it was last night. Did get the wife to at 6 o'clock into this morning to take over, and I did get a little 2 hour nap in from 6 to 8 this morning, so that helped keep me awake. But anyway, that's in case people hadn't seen Gracie. There she is. She's just getting a rest. I don't want to move her because she is quiet, and I don't want to disturb that. You can't really see her face all that good, but either way, she's 18 pounds. She's a Shepherd Chow, and Tabby just loves her to death. So once Gracie unfortunately leaves us, not only will I be in bad shape because I'm very attached to this dog, but Tabby is also attached to her. So I know Tabby will have a fit as well. So anyway, that's that. I just wanted to show Gracie so you could see who she was. And she is being quiet. Like I said, very, very happy about that right now. She did eat quite a bit of food this morning, so hopefully that's going to let her settle in and get a nap, and we'll get some rest this afternoon. So that's that. Let me move back over here to our board. So there you go. And if anybody wants to see what I do for my presentation, there's my little thing that holds the phone. There's my super advanced charts. There's my dice tower, and my computer's over here. So it's all a little space, all a little table space, and there's my little holder. It hooks onto the table, comes up, and the arm is flexible. You can move it wherever you want to move it, twist it, do whatever you want to do with it. So that's what I use, in case anybody was curious. And of course, the dice tower and everything else. So, so I do appreciate. I'm in rough shape, so I don't want to flip the phone lens to me because I look like not very much to look at right now. So I'm going to go ahead and get some stuff done around the house. I hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced NBC Game of the Week. And don't forget, on Monday at noon, we will premiere the Manic Monday APA Basic 1941 Chicago White Sox at the New York Yankees. Joe DiMaggio looking to start his hitting streak. That's the day it started, the 56-game hitting streak. But from here, the Orioles beat the A's 6-3. And thanks to everyone who came in. I don't have time to run down everybody's name, but thank you for coming in and spending part of your Saturday with me and putting up with a couple of K9 delays. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.